up in part 3, we'll show you an actual game between two players set on a custom board that was designed by me. We'll also show you some of the custom markers that are used throughout the game. Let's get started. One of the main decisions for the board was that I wanted to make it a hex board instead of a square board like the original map. The game board is basically built in layers with a base board underneath painted, a plexiglass layer on top, and transparencies. And as we start turn 1, we have to roll for the initiative roll to see which player is going to be player 1 and player 2. Right off the bat, I roll 2 6s, and with my initiative bonus of +4 from the flag values from the cards, I clearly am the winner. Each player starts moving one ship for ship, with the person who won the initiative roll going second. The idea behind this is that the other player is at a disadvantage to know where to place their actual ships in their movements. Now, the initial movement doesn't really affect the game too much, especially on a large board like this. This board is actually a 5-foot by 3-foot board that I've created, which is quite a bit larger than a normal Axis and Allies War at Sea board. So in the movement stage, players are basically trying to find ways of strategizing, of moving towards those objective points in the center of the maps. They're worth 50 points each, so your movement phase is important. However, later in the game it becomes more important. One thing that you also notice is the stacking limit of the ships. So you can have 2 ships in one square at a maximum, with also a sub and endless basically amount of aircraft in one square. So as we moved into air placement phase, we're taking turns placing aircraft where we want to attack. Air placement takes before air attack, and therefore right now I'm actually focusing on his seaplane carrier, the Chintos, and he's attacking my Intrepid carrier. Admiral Burt has 8 aircraft to place in total. He gets 2 free seaplane fighter/bombers from the Chitos, which is what I'm targeting right now in my air placement phase. It's really going to be interesting to see how this plays out. He has a higher number of aircraft, I have a lesser number of aircraft, but my aircraft have higher values than his do. The real problem that I have for the US side is that because we have less aircraft, I actually have less bombers and things to throw at him with. He has more fighter cover and more bombers. And here's the end of Turn 1's aircraft placement summary. As we move into the air defense phase, Admiral Lambert prepares for his attacks. Admiral Lambert chose the Chitos carrier, which is an auxiliary carrier which has 2 free seaplanes to use. He starts off by sending both those seaplanes after the PBY Black Cat. Here's the first roll. First plane's attack doesn't do anything. And neither does the second one. So far, no success at repelling my planes. Up next, he tries sending an A6M5 Zeke against my TBF Avenger torpedo bomber. He got 4 successes, not enough to abort the Avenger. Next, he sends his second Zeke after the Helldiver. With his last aircraft, the Elite A6M20, against my B-25 Mitchell, he does 4 successes and aborts it. And here we go with Admiral Kevin's turn. Admiral Kevin defends with an anti-air attack against Admiral Burt's A65MZ. Three successes, not enough. So one mistake we made before going to Admiral Kevin's turn is that we forgot to do the anti-aircraft for the ships. First roll is the Shikuma against our PBY Black Cat. PBY is destroyed by the anti-aircraft fire. Admiral Lambert is now up to 6 points. The auxiliary carrier Chitos now gets its turn, and he targets the TBF Avenger torpedo bomber. Not enough to kill, but definitely enough to abort the attack. We now turn the focus back to Admiral Kevin's turn. Our fighter cover, the Hellcat, goes after his torpedo launcher. The fighters missed. Last but not least, Intrepid launches its AA guns. Unsuccessfully, the carrier misses, and this ends the air defense turn.